Good morning. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and the sun is shining, and there is a touch of frost on the grass out the front. Watching it now, just as the sun's coming up, it gets colder, doesn't it? And you actually have that frostiness happening. So it's what's happening now. Now, just a reminder that I am on the mytimetv.live page. So I have got this cross-posted to my Hypnosis Plus, Live in 5 and the Boundy page so that you can watch where you're most used to watching it. But if you'd like me to actually see your comments in the background so that I can bring them forward on the screen, you will actually need to click on the link that's above. And I did just forget to put that, let people know that I am live at the moment. So there is the link to the mytimetv.live video and a number that's up there. Well, on my desktop, it's up there in the description. Not sure where it is in a mobile device watching this live, but I think it's in the description above. So if you just do that, would be wonderful. Now, what the reading is on this daily basis is a general card spread of 5 cards, and it's a general reading only. I don't do the individual card pulls this morning on these morning shows. Good morning, Kathy. Just love those hearts. Great blessing. Thank you. I love seeing them. And I'll drop the crawler. I do have the 2 websites. You can go back and watch the replay to grab those. Karina, how are you this morning? It's a wonderful morning. Well, I'm pretty sure it's fairly chilly out though. I've only looked at my phone to get the weathery thing, and it's I think it's about 6 or 7 here at Port Elliot. Good morning, Shaz. You're still lying in bed. It's a good place to be. It does look like a nice day. It looks absolutely gorgeous. And Fiona, how are you? Beautiful flowers. Now I'm going to switch the cameras around so that you can see the cards, because it's what we're here for, is the actual explanation, reading, interpretation, whatever word you want to put for it. What I'd like you to do though is you take the messages that you're receiving from it as the priority, not what I'm explaining, although I do explain it as I see it, for more so I suppose for my own energies around it, but it is general, and I put the intention that it's to help any who are watching. Okay, so what we've got is 5 cards in the 5 card layout, of course. The layout being that the fish is actually in the first card position of work energy. The young man is in the home energy. We've got the magnifying glass up in the unexpected, and we have the bridges in your role, and we've got the well in the outcome. Great place. I love that, because it does bring to my mind that wishing well feeling, but it's not. It's just, well, we need to remember that. Oh, I'm going to show these up. I love the row of hearts. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you. They're beautiful. Now, the fish in that workspace, it is that if you really understand and see some of those docos where there's the schools of fish and they turn all in once at once and all the rest, it's about that doing things in sync with others, I think, and actually working together really well. We've got the three fish here, but we'd have that understanding that there'd be more, of course, as a school of fish. And my eye just went to the front one being that one that's in the other direction. So it can be about taking your own steps to be apart from the others every so often. But remember, it's at the risk of predators being able to spot you easier and take advantage of that factor. So be super aware of what's around you. But it still is something that can be done, obviously. We each make our own decisions. And even in the workspace, teamwork sometimes calls for someone to be a leader. And it could be that that one in particular is the one that's just started that next turn in the next direction. Maybe that one's seen the predator or sensed it even before the rest have, and he's the leader. So that's what I'm feeling about that. And overall, the fish card is about abundance. So whatever it is that you're going to be moving into for your workspace today, even though it's a Sunday, and for me, I'm not really having the day off, but am sort of. I'm getting things progressed and moving toward having tax lodgement because for us in Australia, it is that time of year. So that's my prep and working toward the goal today. The young man looking in that direction too, it really does support it for me. That's what I'm seeing. But the young man, the male energy in that home space, it is having that the presence of someone who is male around you that is going to be really helpful. I'm feeling that there is a lot of understanding needed in some situation that you might be working through, and the young man's just the ace for it because I'm seeing, and that's why my mind went to it, I suppose, because I can just see the ace of hearts right down there. I'm just trying to point to it. Hard to do when you're looking at a camera and trying to find it when it's down there. So there we go. Feeling, have that understanding around a young man or the male energy, that masculine energy that you might be needing to find to create that balance in your life. So we've got the unexpected is the magnifying glass. So that could be looking at something in the workspace that's needing a bit more detail, or even in that home space, or anywhere else really in your own role, what your responsibility is throughout the day, what you're choosing to do. The finer detail is something that we don't always look for, and this is going to pop in today for you to actually take note of. So when you do have that feeling that, oh, there's a bit more to this, have a look. Get a magnifying glass out if you really need to as well. And I've got to move this back a bit because it's not quite the right angle. I can't quite get it this morning. Whoops, say. Now I've mucked it up, haven't I? Whoop. It's almost like a ride on the boat, isn't it? Over the waves, seeing the waves. We've got the bridges here. This is your role. It is the bridges I see as choices. Well, it's a different form of the choices card that we do need to make some decisions, and we actually take the steps to actually go from one side to the other. And it doesn't really matter which side we're on. It is that factor. It gives the opportunity for us to go to the other side. So that's what I see in the bridges card. And it can mean that, look, you might be needing to actually leave it till later to make that choice or decision, or it needs to be done earlier, the sooner the better. Some stuff you can't actually leave alone. You've got to actually deal with right now. I'm actually feeling it is more the clarity and getting things done, the sooner the better. So it's the strong message I get from this card most of the time. It's not too often that I feel we need to be leaving it till later, because that is almost in the dim back, way off type distance, but even more dangerous looking. So is this one as hard to work through or not? I'd do it sooner rather than leave it to the really, really hard task. So your role today really is taking those steps to actually get that moving across. So for me, specifically with the tax stuff, I'm just plodding through and absolutely getting it done so that I nail that goal. And my anticipation is it's today. I want it finished today, so that's what I'm doing. And you're making the necklaces from the crystals. Wonderful. Oh, that's a great goal too. Something wonderful to do. Thanks for that, Fiona. Um, I think you're quite happy to have you well, if you've got photos of them, it'd be lovely to see one of those. The 11 angel messages. Oh, yeah. Yep. That's a good one to do. Um, Now, with that too, we've got the well as the outcome. Now, the well is about, well, I feel it's about resources because we actually can fill our well or we can take from our well. So it's a part of both. With wells, mostly, they are actually fed from what would be a natural underground spring or river or something like that, so that we're not actually filling them as such. It's actually the natural flow of things that will fill our well so that we can dip into that resource when we need it. So, but I'm feeling in some respects that this is about also creating the optimum, having that optimum conditions around us, the variables being all equal, that flow is happening to actually fill that resource. And if you look at the natural lay of things when it comes to Mother Nature and the use of water, for instance, and what our river system has had to put up with human intervention being as crazy and irreverent as we have been to what the Mother Nature herself needs from that system for the environment, and we just keep ripping it out, ripping it out, ripping it out, and the wells become empty. That river system has become empty. It's a similar thing with this water. We've got to be the people up river, being more mindful of how it is used to allow that full flow to continue for the environment, to continue for others downstream, to continue as Mother Nature is intending it to actually be used. So I'm feeling that that's where we need to be mindful of what is around us, and that's what these cards are, the abundance and working together with the fish in our work scene, and that thoughtfulness and consideration of what's in our home scene, looking at the finer detail of what our life has got in it and what's involved in that, making those choices and decisions to create that perfect environment that actually does allow our resources to refill naturally, to keep that level at what is that beautiful, sustainable for everybody level. Because one of the things with the wells, as they were used in community situations, it was actually the whole community using the one well, and there would be gatherings around that as people went to take their daily supply. And it would only be that. There wouldn't be the extra that was being hoarded. You'd only go every morning to get your daily supply you needed for that day. It's just a beautiful set of cards. Thank you. I love that. It's a beautiful set of cards to have to remind us that we do need to be mindful of all that is around us. And for the others who are involved in our lives and the other lives that we are involved in, it is that two-way connection that we have with each other and being mindful of that and how we are affecting our environment and what resources we have. So with that gorgeous outcome of our well being refilled, renewed, allowing that to be the flow and creating the situations around it that allows that. I just feel so, I don't know, there's an inner peace, I suppose, that all things can be in that flow, that we can reach that goal of being sustainable as a world in that global level rather than just having everyone take, that we are getting to that level because there's just so much more awareness around what the situation is, and especially because the coronavirus and the issue of it growing into COVID-19, there is some benefits out of what's occurred, but it is a horrid thing to have happened. But we are becoming much more aware of those and around us and other things that need to be done. So you'll get some together and take a bit. Oh, that's great. Thanks, Fiona. Sit outside and listen to the birds. I absolutely love the birds. All of nature, bringing it all together, because whatever we do as humans, we can only be so much a part of that. That how we affect Mother Nature. Um, there is those situations that bring it forward. How powerful nature itself is, and we are but that speck of dust in it, really. So we need to work, live within the realms of what is the natural laws, of what is the physical natural laws of our earth. So thank you for watching, and I hope you can take from the cards yourselves what you need as your meaning and understanding for your day ahead, and just enjoy your Sunday. And for those who are still that may be watching in that replay, or live from the other side of the world, your Saturday night. So I am aware that this is a global thing, and being on the Facebook or YouTube or wherever else some of this might go, blessings to you, and that you continue to be the best person that you can be. So thank you very much for watching. Oh, namaste. Thank you, Fiona. And your well as your kitchen cupboards, you've got food shopping today. Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I'm so lucky that I have a partner that does the shopping and stuff, because it's not my favourite chore at all. So thank you, Karina. Wonderful. We'll see you tomorrow around the 8 o'clock. Namaste until then.